Well, hello there, you scrub lords, and welcome to a quick follow-up video for, well, I say quick, but it's been over a week since my last video, and I apologize for that. Last week was my midterms, and I needed to be focusing on that. However, this is going to be a follow-up video on my complaints of HESH that I made in that last video on the 1.67 is it a good or a bad patch and Deathrazor go away. This particular video is going to be focusing around the unofficial changes that were not really published in the official patch notes. And Mike 10D has been very gracious enough to provide me with his unofficial patch notes. If you don't know who Mike 10D is, he posts on Reddit a lot. Basically, he goes in and data mines and compares things between patches, and he determines what's different and then posts the changes he's found. Anyways, so what we're going to be talking about very shortly is this. Now, last week I said I was really pissed off about the HESH changes, and I still am. Well, it basically means that it takes a little bit of the sting out of those penetration nerfs for the most part. And if you guys don't understand what this is saying right here, they have drastically decreased the ricochet angles. Now, these are impact angles. So if let me pull up Paint here for a second so I can demonstrate for you. So I've tried to record this about 3 different times now on my desktop using Microsoft Paint, and every time I do, it squishes the video down to about half the size. So yeah, I really don't like Shadowplay right now. Anyways, going back to what I was saying, unfortunately I'm not going to be able to use Paint for this because, you know, Shadowplay being stupid. However, if you look at, let's say, the penetration of the FV405 HESH shells, these are obviously the least affected by the HESH nerfs this patch. However, you could see it says armor penetration distance / angle of attack. And what they mean by angle of attack, as said in Mike Goes Boom's angling video, which I will link in the video description below. Getting back to this, you see angle of attack. Now, those angles right there, 90 degrees, 60 degrees, 30 degrees, those are not the angling of the armored plate. Those are the actual impact angles of the shell. So if a shell hits a vertical piece of armor at a 60-degree angle, it has X penetration. Now, you'll notice that with HESH across the board, as opposed to, let's say, the Tortoise's APC BC round, you'll see at 90 degrees, at 10 meters, it can do 192 millimeters of penetration. Whereas you'll see on, say, the FV405, at 60 degrees and 30 degrees, it doesn't matter what distance, it's 254 millimeters of penetration. They have now changed the ricochet angles of most HESH shells, 15, 25, and 32. In this case, on the 183 millimeter HESH, they've changed that, it dropped that down to 10, 12, and 15 degree angles. So now, at this point, HESH will drastically be more effective against sloped armor. Like, ridiculously more effective. You pretty much have to hit sloped armor at almost a 0-degree angle in order to bounce HESH now. Which means you don't have any more of this happening. In any case, these changes are great. I greatly approve of them. The fragmentation increase has also been really nice. It's also worth mentioning that it will now explode on destructible map objects, which is also fairly realistic, and that means you're going to have to play a little bit more carefully with your HESH shells now, especially in vehicles like this where you've only got, at most, you don't even get 2 shots a minute with this thing, so you got to be very careful. And I think it's a good thing for HESH. Now, am I still salty about the penetration nerfs to the 105mm guns? Yeah. I don't feel that this change, there was no need for it, in my personal opinion. And I will stand by that until they change it back, or if they ever do change it back. Now, I know that some people are saying that this change was also put in place because 127mm is about like the 100% chance guaranteed of a HESH shell actually damaging the target. However, that's a 100% chance, and if anybody knows anything about HESH and War Thunder, it's not always, up until this point, it tended to be a little bit finicky in what it hit. Now granted, it's much, much better now because of these ricochet changes, but it's still worth mentioning that HESH still has issues, and lowering its penetration means that you are lowering the chance that people have of doing something effectively against a target. In any case, this has just been a quick follow-up video. I realize I dragged this on for way more time than it needed to be, but that's just my style. That's just the way I roll. Anyways, I've also got one last thing for you before I let you guys go, and I think you guys will enjoy this. Check it out.
God damn it, get your homework!